Hello, my name is Mariana, and today is such a special day because today, 22nd of August, 2022. Oh, wow, now I've just noticed the 22 and 22. Anyways, but exactly 1 year ago, I posted the first reading here on YouTube for Aquarius. So today is the first anniversary of the tarot readings here, with my own deck of cards that, maybe you've seen the very first ones, maybe you haven't. I just really, really want to share with you and celebrate with you this very special day for me. And I know that last year, the 22nd of August, was the blue moon, the blue full moon in Aquarius, meaning it was the second full moon in Aquarius in the space of one moon cycle in a sense, right? So it's like, to me, that was for sure a moment of certainty that that would be a very significant, special time. And so here we are 1 year later, and we're again in this 22nd of August. And I know that the full moon in Aquarius this year happened 11 days ago, so on the 11th of August. Which is also an incredible number, right? If we think of, the master numbers, 22nd, 22 being one of them, but also 11 being one of them. And it's beautiful actually how this full moon is this year is happening on the 11th, because it's almost like a reminder of, where it all began. And, it's almost like the special celebration of this 1 year anniversary for the tarot readings here, and how I decided to, publicly share my tarot reading with you, something that, just to enjoy this day and celebrate with you. I just thought it would be nice to share with you a little bit of, what led me to deciding to record the first video, but also it's like everything that's been going through, this past year. And especially because maybe most of you have known me since Sen gave me the shout out in January this year. So, maybe you haven't seen me since the beginning of the tarot readings a year ago, but, for at least maybe 6, 7, 8 months. So yeah, it's like, it's good to have company. It's good to know that, the messages that come through the tarot deck, it's like they are helping, they are guiding, they are being insightful to you. So I wanted to share with you why I felt like, that blue moon was very significant. Well, my personal birth chart, right? I have Aquarius in my midheaven, so it's at the top of my birth chart. And I have Saturn in Aquarius. And so not only this year, right, has been exactly the year of my first Saturn return, but it has a lot to do with, it's almost like this retrospective, not only of the past year, but of my entire life, right? And the purpose of me being here, and how I have this very rich and just curious mind, right? It's like my creativity sparks in so many directions that sometimes I cannot handle myself, because I do have, something that I have to live with, which is my anxiety, right? And so I feel like this is because I know that my creativity is maybe sparked by so many different things that I wish I could do them all. And so, now I'm sewing. For instance, I just finished this top, which took me a long time and a lot of trial and error, I should say. But, it's almost like every time my creativity sparks, whatever it is, if I'm bookbinding, if I'm working with air dried clay, if I'm reading, if I'm writing, if I'm sewing, if I'm, creating a deck, if I'm creating astrological runes, it's like there are things that I'm just so, it's not for the purpose of getting to the result. It's just like the incredible journey of seeing something that I have imagined come to life, right? And so when I created this deck, it was a long time ago now. Wow, it's been 4 years now. 4 or 5. It's been a long time because it was really quickly, actually, because I created this in just this what is the word? It's like I was feeling like I wanted to study tarot for a long time, since the beginning of 2018. And at that time I was still working as an architect, but I wasn't feeling it, right? I knew that there was something in me that was already trying to claim their way out. And I knew that there was something sparking and brewing inside of me, wanting to be created. And at the time, I didn't have the courage to tell anyone that I was interested in tarot. It's like I wouldn't have the courage to go to a shop, right? Like an esoteric kind of shop to search for decks. I remember I went to this mystic fair with my sister, and at the time it was almost like, nobody has to know. It's like, we'll just keep this between us. But I remember I was, going through some stands and trying to find tarot decks. And it was so hard because, I've had experiences with crystals before, right? So I knew that they would call me, in a sense. And I wasn't feeling that with any tarot deck that I was seeing. So in June, actually 2018, I just was, chatting with a friend, and she said something that now I cannot remember, because it was almost like it's almost like she opened the lid for my creativity to just, go wild. And so I remember that I was like rushing back home from that meeting with her, and I just sat in front of the computer, and in less than an hour, I'm not kidding, the deck was ready. And at that point I knew that everything that I wanted were the cards, right? So I just sat down and created it, and the next day I printed at the architecture office that I worked at, in secret, because I didn't want anybody to know. And so this is actually the one, right? The one that I use here. This is the original one. And so I remember that, going, this very, very beautiful, but also very nostalgic kind of retrospective. In 2019, I decided to, do this limited edition of the deck. So because, so far I was only working with this deck, after I quit my job in architecture in the end of 2018. In 2019, I spent the whole year, working privately with clients, but more in astrology than tarot. I was working with the tarot, but in addition to astrology. And it was already very, very helpful. But at the end of 2019, I remember that I just wanted it. I felt like it was too powerful to just stay, very private in one-on-one sessions with clients. And so I figured, why not make this limited edition to, help and disseminate the message through the cards. And so I did it again, right? I sat at my computer and I wrote down the entire booklet, that in Portuguese, of course, at the time, because I was not thinking on YouTube at all. So there was this, it's almost like, I feel like when things are just ready, right? When creativity is brewing, when inspiration comes, when everything is right, I feel like everything happens in the right order. And it's like it just magically happens. And so I remember that I wrote the booklet very, very fast too. And I printed the 22 copies of the cards. I printed the 80-page booklet, times 22, and I cut everything myself. I bound every single booklet. I trimmed every single card, and to my surprise, every single person that now has the deck, I know that they are special people in a sense, because I know that the cards are guiding them in a very particular way, right? Although it's the same, deck of cards, our own personal language, and the spiritual symbolism or the way that we interpret the cards are so unique and so beautiful that I know that there are 22 people other than myself that are learning from the cards. And so this is something actually that I've been asked about a few times, if I wanted to sell my deck. Maybe, I don't know how that could work in practical terms actually. But before anything else, I would have to translate the booklet, right? And that, I just know that it will take a little bit of time. And, just because I like the handmade quality to it, and I feel like that's part of how special it makes the deck, I just feel like that is something that I would like to make, if someday I would decide to sell an English version of the tarot deck. But who knows? This is, an open thing that I'm, leaving to the universe. And if things are right, if things line up, then maybe. But that's just a side note that I just remembered. So where I want to get with this, retrospective that I want to share with you is, when I finished these decks, right? I knew, and by this point, I already knew Sen from Sen Tarot, because I was already subscribed to her channel, so I was already watching her videos and learning so much from her. And I decided that even though I live in Brazil and she lives in Canada, I just had to send her a tarot deck that I had made. And even though it was, the Portuguese version, I just didn't care. I just knew that that was something that I had to do. And so I did it. I sent her an email, and we exchanged a few emails, and then this was the beginning of 2020, and the moment when I went to the post office, I knew that the tarot deck would take a while to get there, but it would arrive at some point. And so it took around 2 or 3 months to get to her, but after it got to her finally, it's when I feel like our friendship truly began, at least in my point of view. But from that moment on, from the middle of 2020, I remember something that she said to me in the first few emails that she replied to me, and she was asking if I had a YouTube channel. And at that point, I was so shy that I was like, absolutely not. I am not the person to have, to speak, publicly, or to expose myself in such a huge way. And yeah, so at that time also, I was taking dance classes. So I was feeling a little bit more comfortable in my own body, right? So that was part of the lesson that was going on at the same time. And so for an exercise proposed by the dance teacher, I had to record a video, right? Because obviously we were during, pandemic, so we couldn't, it's like it was locked down. We couldn't go to class or anything like that. So one of the exercises was to record a video of me dancing, and it had to be out in the public, right? It couldn't be inside your home. And so that was one of the first videos that I recorded as the intimate writings, because I just knew that I didn't want to do like a very specific video of me dancing, because I'm not that good, although I was already, pretty comfortable with my body. But it was just because a few weeks prior, I recorded a video by the incentive of Sen, right? She was the one who was like directly and indirectly just motivating me to take a risk, really. And so I already had these writings, these intimate writings, that I was thinking about sharing. And I didn't want to share in my Instagram, because I didn't want, for people that I knew to know that I was sharing such personal and intimate things. So I thought, this is the chance that I have to take a risk, to take a leap of faith, but do it in a way that I know that nobody will watch it, because I didn't have any subscribers at the time. So it was just, like a personal diary. Like, I'm just going to do this as a challenge to myself, right? And see if I can, post something so publicly and being so personal, right? The intimate writings to me are extremely personal, right? And so I recorded these personal videos with the intimate writings, and also with the dancing, helping me to feel more comfortable in showing myself on camera, right? And so I just knew that the first full moon in Aquarius last year, 2021, so throughout the end of 2020 and the first semester of 2021, I was kind of posting regularly the intimate writings just as I felt it, right? I didn't have any sort of schedule or anything like that. I was just feeling like it. And so at the first full moon in Aquarius in 2021, I just knew that I was entering a phase, like it's almost like a oh my god, I cannot speak. A portal kind of phase between the first full moon and the second full moon, that I would have to get ready for something more courageous, or like a bigger risk. And at that point, I didn't know exactly that, it was the tarot readings. But on the morning of the Aquarius, the second Aquarius full moon, the blue moon, I just remember that I just woke up with this image in my head, because I had dreamt of this image, which is, the format of the thumbnail, essentially, of the videos. And I recorded a reading, and I recorded, 2 videos, because I don't know why, but I already knew that the videos were essentially like a first part and an extended, because I had seen like the image of two spreads, right, side by side, the way that I do. And so I just recorded it. and it was the most gorgeous thing, and I knew it was for Aquarius, right, because of the full moon. So this is a reason exactly why I started with Aquarius and not Aries, which is, you know, the first sign of the zodiac, but it was because of the full moon. So the interesting thing is that from then on, I just felt like things were so magical. I don't know exactly what it was that happened to me, or maybe it was me opening up my own channel and finding it so fascinating and so just enchanting to give voice to something that I was seeing so clearly. And so I know that every time that I sit down here to record a reading for you, and now I'm even more happier because, you know, more people are receiving these messages, and it really brings like such joy to me and such happiness to me. But there's something that I always say to myself whenever I'm sitting down here, is that whatever wants to come through, whatever message has to come through, that it be for the highest good of whoever is receiving it. And so, yeah, it's like, I feel like that's the intention, right? And I don't know exactly how to express my gratitude in a way that is like capable of really reaching the amount like that I feel. Is like, it's hard for me to express in words like how it's like such a privilege, but it's like how it's almost like it illuminates my soul. It's almost like I feel grateful for being here. I feel grateful for being this translator, for being this channel. Yeah, and I'm just here because you're there also. And so I just wanted to say thank you. Really, it doesn't matter if you found me yesterday, if you found me, you know, 8 months ago, if you found me, you know, 1 year ago. I'm just really, really happy and really grateful that you're here with me. And I've said this in the video that, you know, I was thanking San. And I feel like this is a feeling that will never go away because it's so truthful. It's like, yeah, I feel like really, really thankful, really thankful. So, as I said, this is a day to celebrate, but it's been a year, right? Of, I don't even know how many readings I've done so far in total, but there are so many. And, you know, whenever I look at the playlist for the signs, I was like, I am just amazed by how many readings I've done already. And, you know, the messages just keep coming. And that to me is so incredibly fascinating. I am just always so amazed. I feel like this is what keeps me motivated, really. It's like there's something that happens that is so beyond me that I'm just touching a little bit. And whenever I open my mouth and I press record, it's like it comes and it's just so magical. And so I just want to keep on doing this, right? But I know that it also has to be something that is sustainable, right? To me, otherwise I won't have the energy to show up here every time. And so I've been thinking about something that, you know, a few of you have already emailed me or sent me messages or, you know, commented here in the videos talking about, you know, maybe doing a few changes in regards to the extended. You know, it's interesting because there are also a few people who have emailed me saying that, you know, as if they were, you know, giving me this warning or this alert saying that, you know, the extendeds are publicly posted, they are, you know, available freely. And yes, that was the way that I intended in the first place, right? That was the purpose that I was being guided to. But I just feel like, this 1 year anniversary is also, it's almost like this completion of a cycle that has taught me so much, has opened me to so many beautiful things, so many beautiful connections. I received so many beautiful messages. Oh my God, it's like I am privileged. I feel very, very, very privileged for just getting to know you. When I was doing also the private readings, which I no longer do just because they're not sustainable, right? My energetic level, it's like it is very, very intense. But I want to keep on doing these readings just because it is very, very fascinating to me, and it's like it intrigues me, right? It calls me, and I just feel like it's this honor to share this with you and be helpful in any way that I can, if I can. And so what I was thinking about, a change that can be significant, but I don't know, I just feel like I have to test it out and see how it goes, is to start charging for the extendeds. So I'm going to see how it goes from now on. I'm going to give myself a few days just to think things through, and see how I have to set up Vimeo and that platform. But I feel like I have to give it a try at least, and I would be delighted if you would still be here with me. I'm still going to post the first part of the videos here on YouTube, obviously. And so yeah, I feel like this next phase would be this new challenge, right? And just see how it goes, see how it flows. And so yeah, let me know your thoughts about that, or if you have any suggestion that you would like to give me, or even if you just want to celebrate with me, and let me know how the readings are going with you, or how they impact you in any way, or if they are helpful in any way. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to just celebrate with me this 1 year of the tarot readings here, I would be really, really delighted to read your messages, to read your comments, and to just feel this party going, because to me it feels like, yeah, just this very beautiful moment to celebrate and to enjoy, but also to reflect upon, this 1 year of doing so many readings and learning so much and getting to know a lot of new people, and connecting, and also helping if I can help. So if you want to share with me your thoughts, I would be really, really grateful and very, very thankful just to know that you're here. Yeah, because sometimes it can be, very odd to just, talk to a camera. So let me know, or maybe just leave some like a hi, or whatever you want to leave me in the comment section. So yeah, I'll do this reflecting, over the next few days, and I'll get back to you with the changes, okay? So yeah, I'm so happy today. It's like this is a beautiful, special, very important day to celebrate. So yeah, I'm going to go celebrate now. Thank you so much for being here, for the time that you have been here. Thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot, and I hope that I'll continue to help you if I can with the messages, because at the end of the day, that's what truly matters, that the message is delivered. So I'll just show up and see what wants to come, and hopefully it will be helpful to you or to somebody out there. So thank you so much. I know this was a long one, but I just wanted to share with you this story and just my happiness, and going through this intense journey and sharing this deck, the cards and the messages with you. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you next. Bye.